Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Just got back from Walmart, or my local Walmart, and I picked up the Jurassic World Dino Trackers, Gigantic Trackers, Elasmosaurus. This was one I was looking forward to for a while now, only because it's just a cool looking marine reptile, and I'm just super amazed that Mattel actually gave us an actual Elasmosaurus. I didn't know if they were or not after they released the Plesiosaurus, but now here it is right here, the Elasmosaurus in all its glory, and I can't wait to take a closer look at it. So here's a main look at the packaging here. It's your normal Dino Trackers, packaging with blue and beta up in the corner, the Jurassic World logo, the title card, Dino Trackers logo, the Mattel logo, and then the whole background that's themed in like the ocean with the cool little like oil rig back there. And as you can see, it's part of the ocean environment like all the other Dino Trackers, and this one comes with tracking gear, so I'm really excited to take a look at that. You can see the Jurassic World logo on that side and the Dino Trackers logo on this one, and not to mention this figure is actually pretty big too, so I can't wait to see it in hand when I take it out of the box. There's the Jurassic World logo back there, fax type information. It's got up and down attack and side to side chopping action, so that's pretty cool. Can't wait to take a closer look at these. And then it says tracking gear included, and the other figure, the Plesiosaurus, which I did review a while back, so if you want to, you can check that out. So yeah, let's go ahead and take this figure out. And here we have it. Here we have the Gigantic Trackers Elasmosaurus out of the package, and this figure is just amazing. Mattel did an excellent job with this one. This was one of the figures that I was really looking forward to getting as soon as I saw its reveal. I never thought Mattel would actually do an Elasmosaurus, and then here we are. Here we have it, out of the box and everything, and this figure is just amazing. The sculpt, the size, the proportions, everything about it is just super good, and it actually makes for a pretty nice, standard Jurassic Park Elasmosaurus toy, Mattel throwing in all sorts of marine reptiles into their lineup for their Jurassic Park collections, and they're just so cool. Marine reptiles in general are awesome, and to be able to get tons of those as Jurassic Park toys are super cool, and especially when you get to compare them with humans and take some really cool looking Jurassic themed pictures depicting, marine reptiles in a lake on an island or in a research facility, underground, is really cool. And this Elasmosaurus is just breathtaking in my opinion. And yeah, but enough talking about it. Let's just take a look at this figure, because based on what I'm seeing here, it looks really good. But let's take a closer look at the figure. Well, first thing I just want to say before we get into it is the size is actually really good on this one. I was surprised to see how big this thing was in person. I mean, I know this is a larger species. This is not your typical Plesiosaurus. This is another member of the same family, but a different species. And the size of this thing is just really cool. The amount of playability with this figure and the fact that it doesn't come with any electronics is endless, in my opinion. So let's get a closer look at this amazing figure here. Let's start off with the really cool looking head here of this Elasmosaurus, and it actually looks really nice. One thing I do want to point out is that no, the head isn't necessarily fully accurate to Elasmosaurus in real life, because Elasmosaurus, oh my gosh, I can't speak, its head was, I believe, maybe a bit more flatter than this, and the teeth were obviously much more thinner, like needles, and there were a lot more. The way this head looks reminds me of a snake or a serpent, which adding that snake-like quality or appearance to a plesiosaur, I don't know why, it just looks so cool. I don't know what it is with plesiosaurs and sometimes having them depicted as literally just swimming snakes, but with like actual like bodies and flippers and whatnot, are really cool. And fun fact, I do believe Plesiosaurus was actually originally supposed to appear in Jurassic World Dominion, and rumors of its appearance actually would have looked like a snake. The head actually would have looked like a snake of, like, I believe an anaconda, which is really cool, because the head of an anaconda and then kind of applying that to a plesiosaur, it kind of makes sense. So it would have been cool to see that on the big screen, but unfortunately it was cut from the film, so we don't really know what it would have looked like, but hopefully we'll get an animal like this soon in the franchise. Taking a look at the head here, really nice. I love the snake-like quality to it. The eyes are really nicely done. Another reason why it looks like a snake-like head is the amount of large pebble scales all over its face. Like, they're super large on the face, and they get all skinny and tiny or smaller all over the body, which is very similar to snakes today. The scales around the face are, like, usually larger. You know, they're more visible, and then as soon as you get to the body, they just get smaller. So really cool detail right there. Nice shaped head, especially from up here. It looks like a classic plesiosaur head, because they have, like, these larger open spaces back here, and it kind of makes like almost like a triangle shape a little bit. And I don't really see any nostrils sculpted. It might be right there, but it's kind of hard to tell. It kind of depends on where the shadows are hitting, but there might be some nostrils sculpted in there. They're just kind of hard to see, and they're not, you know, real deep holes, so, you know, it's not, you can't really see it too much anyway. The teeth are nicely sculpted. I know they're a lot more rounder and less skinny, but, you know, it's just for the purpose of the toy. And I love how they interlock with each other, which is really cool. Which I think is an accurate characteristic to real plesiosaurs. Their teeth kind of interlock, and it's really interesting because I see this a lot with other Mattel dinosaurs or animals. They don't put teeth right here for some reason, because I guess that gets in the way with the teeth up top, which is kind of a weird choice. That itself is not accurate, but, you know, it is what it is. It is really cool though. Here on the roof of the mouth, you got some nice texturing, and then here at the tongue, you got a nice sculpted tongue, and it's very glossy, so it makes it look nice and wet, which is really cool because, you know, adds the realism to this figure. At the bottom, you got some more smaller scales on the underside, whereas we get the larger ones on the side of the jaw and all over the face right here. And I like the eye ridges right here. Even though it's not necessarily accurate to the real thing, it does add more to that snake-like quality to it. Moving on to the neck, you got some nice folds in the skin right here, which go all the way around, which are really nice. And then all throughout the neck, just decked out in this amazing scale work. Look at that. You can see as the shadows hit it in different directions, the amount of scale work on this figure is amazing. That's one of the reasons why I love this figure so much, is because the amount of scale detail. You got some larger scales here and there, and then some smaller ones. You got like really large, bumpy, rough scales here at the top of the neck, right here, which is cool. I like that. And then here at the bottom, you get like this little vein skin flap structure, which is present on a lot of reptiles today. And you got some more finer scales on the underside. It's not too heavily noticeable, but you can feel them, they are there. And then the neck kind of continues onto this body, and the same with the flaps, or the skin part right here. Kind of goes all over here underneath the first flipper and all over the body, or along the body here, and then kind of circles around the rear flipper, and then it goes down pretty much to the end of the tail. So nice detail there. You got some more skin folds right here, which are nice. And then we got some muscle definition, which is really cool. You can kind of see where the shoulder blade area is, which is really nice. Adds to the realism of the figure, in my opinion. And then some more of the, and you got like the spine area kind of pops up a bit more, especially like right here, with the more rough and larger pebbled scales scattered throughout the entire top half, which is really nice. Adds to the texture quality to it. And then the entire body has like all these nicely done sculpted scales, which looks really nice. Look at all that scale work. So really nice there. And here at the bottom, you got some more scales, which are more visible here than they are on the neck. but they look really nice and fine. And then here on the back side, we get the tiny little tail, which has a really interesting looking sail feature on it, which is interesting. That might be to play on the fact that, you know, a lot of paleo depictions of plesiosaurs these days have like a little tail fluke at the end of the tail. So that might be just to play off that idea, but they gave it kind of like a sail, almost like a Spinosaurus type sail on its tail, which is really cool. You know, adds to like the Jurassic Parkness of this animal. You know, since it's not really supposed to be depicting the accurate animal, you know, 100%. So really cool there. Really like the amount of detail and especially the amount of scale work across it. So really nice there. You got some more of the rubber, not rubber, the rough, bumpy, larger pebble scales all across there. And then here is the scan code. Then we can take a look at the flippers. The flippers are nicely done, nicely detailed, and all those nice sculpted scales, which feel really nice and feel real. And you got some really large plate-like pebbles scales on this part of the flipper right here, and you even got a little bit here at the bottom. Kind of reminds me of the flippers of sea turtles. They always have like those large scales on them that look like floor tiling, kind of like on this table a little bit. So that's a really cool little feature right there. And here at the bottom, you got more of the smaller, finer scales and a few scattered larger bumps throughout the flipper. So really nice attention to detail there from Mattel. And you got some more scales around the part where the arm attaches to the body. Here at the back flipper, kind of the same, just slightly smaller. Lots of nice finer scales sculpted, and some larger ones here on this part of the flipper, and same with the underside. So much like the front flipper. So yeah, really nice detail all over this Elasmosaurus. It looks really nice. I love the face on this one too. It looks really good. But yeah, in terms of colors, the colors are awesome. They are fantastic on this figure. They pretty much captured the aquatic or the marine look of this animal very well, with all sorts of blues and just the water-like colors to it. So really nice. You got like this nice lighter blue turquoise color for the main part of the body, which is really nice. It's gonna look really cool when you put this like in the water, like a swimming pool. This thing is just gonna feel right at home. And then you got like a darker, kind of like a navy blue, like a dark navy blue for around the eye right here, and then it stripes down all throughout the neck. And then it stops right here, and then it continues again here on the back end, and then pretty much covers the entire tail in that same color, which is really cool looking. You even got some white colors here on the back side that kind of speckle throughout the main two blue colors right here. The colors that Mattel put on here make the colors complement each other very nicely. The white against the blues look really nice. And then we got a nice kind of like a beige color for the underbelly, for the lower jaw, and then all the way down the neck, and at least to the chest. So it would have been nice for it to continue all the way down to the underside of the body, but for what they did, it looks really good. At least they got the neck area, so it looks really cool, because the neck is pretty much the main feature of this animal. Elasmosaurus was famous for having a long neck when compared to the shorter neck of a Plesiosaurus, which is really cool in my opinion. And here on the inside of the mouth, you got like this nice fleshy inside color, at least for the tail, and then the gum flaps. Unfortunately, there isn't any of that on the roof of the mouth. The teeth are nicely painted in like a kind of like a whitish color that's different than the white on the body, but also different from the beige underbelly color. Then you got a bright orange eye with a black slit, which makes the eyes stand out and makes the head itself stand out. You know, and the bright eye with the slit on the inside, the very reptilian slit, just adds to the snake-like quality to the face, which is really cool. So yeah, the colors are excellent on this figure. For articulation, the front flippers here, they can move up and down, so you can get some nice, swimming or gliding motions underneath the water. They can also rotate, so you can get some nice range of motion there. And this one's very fluent on mine, so it feels nice and smooth and doesn't give at all. And here at the back flippers, same thing, up and down, and they can rotate all the way around, so you get some nice movement there. Same with the other side, just nice ocean and flippers. I like marine animals that have articulated flippers, because I don't know, that just seems a lot more fun to play around with when you're playing with your toys outside, or if you're taking pictures or displaying them on the shelf, you can pose them in different areas. So that's pretty cool. The tail might be able to rotate, but on mine it won't, so I'm not going to force it. And I think that's it for articulation. Oh wait, nope, there is a hidden neck joint right here, which can swivel only like that, so only from side to side, which is really cool, very neat. A lot of the sauropods have these from Mattel, but it's kind of useless because it breaks up the sculpt. You can see right here, so I won't be using that a whole lot. Yeah, that's that. Now for the action features, this is a gigantic trackers, and a lot of those have two little buttons to activate two different features for these larger sized animals. So this button right here on the shoulder, if you push it, makes the head, or the neck anyways, this part of the neck right here, move from side to side, but it's more leaning towards the left a little bit, and then opens the mouth and chomps it. So you can kind of get to see a good look right here. So there you go, like that. And then the other button right here, if you push it, it makes the neck go up and down, and it opens the mouth as well. So you got two different neck movements with the same jaw snapping action, which is really cool. I like this one a lot more because you can make this one like rear up out of the water, kind of like a famous Loch Ness Monster pose, and just like eat people or grab a poor unfortunate dinosaur or other animal swimming right here, and it just gobbles it down and drags it to the depths of the ocean. So I really do like the action features. They're unique to this animal, but it's really cool. I really do like them a lot, which is really cool. And you know what, the more I think about it, when I look at this Elasmosaurus from Mattel, the more it reminds me of the Chap May Animal Planet Elasmosaurus or Plesiosaurus figure that came with the Animal Planet toy lines that were at Toys R Us stores. I have that Plesiosaurus figure, and it really reminds me a lot of this figure right here. Just because I played with those Animal Planet toys. They were like my Jurassic Park toys back then, because obviously there were any Jurassic Park movies out at the time, so there were no toys. So Animal Planet toys were like my Jurassic Park toys a little bit. And having that Plesiosaurus was like, oh, what if the Plesiosaurus was in Jurassic Park or something like that? But now we got both the Plesiosaurus and the Elasmosaurus and a bunch of other marine reptiles from Mattel for our Jurassic Park collections. And yeah, I love them so much. I hope Mattel continues with these in the future. Oh yes, I forgot, this gigantic trackers comes with tracking gear. So it comes with a little harness for to place on the animal so it can go track something. I always considered these to be like on the good guy team. You put this on and they can track other escaped dinosaurs or to help find people and save them and whatnot. So that's kind of like the feel I get. The overall detail here on this harness is really nice. Nice attention to detail here on the material, and like the little screw holes and the little attachments here. This little box looking thing right here is nicely sculpted as well, and just the overall strap detail on it, which is really cool. I really do like the detail on these tracking gear, which is really cool. And out here on the inside, you got like the same texture, almost kind of like a leathery material, almost looks like. So really cool. Yeah, and it's also made of like this flexy, bendy, rubbery plastic. So we'll go ahead and put this on the animal which, if I can remember, I think goes like this. Yep, I think it goes like this, and all you got to do is just plug in these little straps. Maybe, or maybe it goes the other way. Oh, okay, it goes like this, I believe. And then here on the back end here, and there you go. And here you got the tracking gear on your Elasmosaurus, so you can get ready for secret or action-packed dinosaur missions on the water to face off against the Mosasaurus or some other dangerous water creature. And I'm surprised how loose this thing kind of feels. Like, it doesn't feel like it's hugging the figure like the other gigantic tracker figures that come with these, but it fits well. I mean, it's not coming off because you click them together, but it does look really cool though. It's just a classic Jurassic, picture right here. Just the Elasmosaurus swimming with a tracking harness on, and you got like little flashlights right here, so you can like track things underneath the water. Super cool. I really do love this feature a lot, and it allows you to push the buttons, so at least it's not covering that up. So yeah, that is really cool. Really happy with this figure. Let's go ahead and move on to comparisons. Alright, first up we have the Elasmosaurus compared with the human figure and the Mattel Plesiosaurus figure. And these look really good together, not only because a lot of them all have like a blue color on them, but just the scale with these are really nice. I'm not too familiar with how big Elasmosaurus is in real life, so this might be a correct size or not. I do know Elasmosaurus was bigger than Plesiosaurus, so I think that part is correct, but I have to wait and see if anything else is accurate or not. But the scaling looks really nice on here, just to see how big this Elasmosaurus is compared to a teeny tiny little Plesiosaurus is super cool. And you can just see how this Plesiosaurus is just dwarfed by this large behemoth right here. And I love the Mattel Plesiosaurs. These were like super cool little swing animals, kind of like the dolphins of the dinosaur world, kind of. And then we got the huge Elasmosaurus, which can easily take this thing out with one swipe of the neck. So really cool there. And then this head is more similar to what an actual Plesiosaurus head is like, and then Mattel gave the Elasmosaurus a bit more of a snake-like, stylized look. But it looks really nice. I mean, I would not want to be a guy like this and just kind of come across like a serpent-headed marine reptile. I mean, that's just terrifying. But really cool. So yeah, there's this comparison right here. And then here we have the Elasmosaurus compared with a couple other marine reptiles from Mattel. I didn't bring them all out. I just kind of grabbed just whatever I could see right away. And here we have it compared with the Plesiosaurus again, just for scale. And then we have the Kronosaurus and the Mosasaurus, which ultimately dwarfs them all. The Mosasaurus can easily take out any one of these. But it's really cool to see all these together. And just the overall scale. I'll even throw in the human figure again, just to kind of give you guys a bit of a idea of how big these animals are, which is really cool. Like I said, I love how Mattel sticks with the in scale stuff with their figures. That's awesome. Overall, these look really great together. Alright everybody, so that's about to wrap it up for this review. For my final thoughts, I am just beyond happy to have this thing. This Elasmosaurus does not disappoint. There is nothing wrong with this figure at all. The detailing is awesome. The sculpt and the design is just great. The articulation and the action features are awesome as well. Of course, the added tracking gear is always a plus, and the colors are great as well. So everything about this figure is just awesome, and I highly recommend it to any collector out there. So yeah, I am very satisfied with this figure. Definitely a 10 out of 10. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Sorry for making this one so long. There's so much to talk about in these reviews, and I like doing them. So Still, please consider supporting me, because I do believe I'm almost to 400 subscribers. So please help me reach to 400 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me. So anyways, I'll see you guys again for the next video.